Hi, I'm not sure if you're familiar with Project Veritas or James O'Keefe, but let me give you a little bit of a rundown on him. He's an investigative journalist who has released a lot of very damning videotapes of people being recorded without their knowledge and spilling a lot of um, interesting things. Before I get into that, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to this channel. That'll really help me. I'm trying to get up to my first 500 people so I can monetize. That would be really cool. Um, and yeah, if you want to drop a comment in there or message me directly and let me know if there's something specific you'd like me to cover, that would be cool. Anyway, so James O'Keefe, he was in court today. Let me bring this up and see what he has to say.
A verdict has just been issued in federal court in the case of Project Veritas suing me, asking the court to issue a preliminary injunction against me. The federal judge just now issuing a directed verdict against Project Veritas and in my favor yesterday.
Okay, so before he goes on, so James O'Keefe built the company Project Veritas, and he went on a lot of, or he had a lot of undercover reporters reporting different pretty impressive things. Uh, Towards the end of COVID, he caught a high up person within Pfizer on a bit of a trap. His whole shtick is go on Tinder, swipe right on as many high profile people as possible. And usually he has attractive men or women doing this to men or women depending on their proclivities. And when they do that, they go out on dates with these people and they just listen to them ramble on about how evil they are. And for some reason they're just like, yeah, let me tell you about how evil I am and the company that I work for is. It's an amazing thing that James O'Keefe does. He caught one of the or a really high producer in CNN talking about how they purposefully misled people during COVID to try and influence the election against Donald Trump. How the COVID death counter that they had up on the screen, they were always like, bump up those numbers a little bit more, make it a little bit more scary. And then the moment Biden got into office, they're like, get that off the screen immediately. We are no longer showing that the COVID death counter on the screen, even though it was basically fake numbers that they were putting up there. They just were fabricating, sometimes out of whole cloth, stories to make Trump look as bad as possible, and then they flipped it as soon as Biden got in to make Biden look as good as possible. So just before, or after James O'Keefe found somebody from Pfizer that went on a date with a guy because that's what he was interested in, he gave all sorts of very, very damning information about Pfizer on record, or sorry, on camera. He didn't know he was being recorded. And when James O'Keefe went in for the wrap up saying, hey, you're caught on camera saying all of this stuff. Here's a tablet saying, with you saying all this stuff. The guy went to the door of the restaurant, locked the door to prevent James O'Keefe from leaving, and called the cops to try and get James O'Keefe arrested for not doing anything wrong. He then ripped the tablet out of James O'Keefe's hands and threw it on the floor to break it. And James O'Keefe's like, you know, we just have copies of it everywhere. It's digital everywhere. So yeah, right after that, all of a sudden, the board of Project Veritas decided James O'Keefe he's toxic to the company because he's getting all these really high profile stories. He's getting massive amounts of donations from people that are seeing the good that he's doing. Like millions of dollars are flowing into Project Veritas because of the work that James O'Keefe did. And the board was like, nope, he's got to go. And he left the company. And the day he left, he talks to the entire company and said, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. I'll start a new company. And anybody that wants to work with me, you can come work with me. And that was the last day that Project Veritas was profitable. And now they're suing him to try and keep his mouth shut so that his journalism dies and he can no longer do what he cares to do, to be a light, kind of like WikiLeaks and Julian Assange. Julian Assange was a problem, so he needed to be shut down and shut up. And for 10 years, he was basically in prison, either figuratively or literally in prison. And James O'Keefe didn't have to go to prison, but he has been raided by the FBI at least once. I'm pretty sure he's gone to jail a couple times for minor offenses. And with Project Veritas, he lost the company that he built. So now he's created OMG O'Keefe Media Group. And he's doing exactly the same thing he was doing with Project Veritas. He got a high up in the CIA. He got the cybersecurity expert for the White House to admit on camera that Biden has severe mental issues, and that the only reason why Kamala is in the position that she is because she's a diversity hire. And no one in their right mind would want to have Kamala as a candidate because she's dumb. I think he said those very close to those words. Yeah, nobody likes her. He's gotten three different people from within Disney were caught on camera talking about how Disney is super woke. They support the LGBTQ IAP plus two-spirit, that whole thing. And yeah, really, really explosive stuff there. And he just came out with some more stuff about Kamala that I haven't watched yet, and I really need to get to that next. But yeah, he's great, and he's really, really pushing independent journalism so that people across the nation can become his journalists. All they need to do is go through a little online boot camp. He'll send them out a hidden camera that fits in a coffee cup, on a lapel pin, button, something, and go out and start recording people spilling the beans about how evil they are. And he's doing tremendous work, and he's providing work for other people. It's awesome. Anyway, let's continue with what James O'Keefe says.
I was asked to do a deal. There was a deal on the table to limit my speech. I said no. They immediately called me to testify. I testified for a couple hours, and just now, ruling in our favor. It remains unclear why Project Veritas is continuing on, why they're using donor resources to shut me up and shut me down, but I will never be shut up or shut down. I will not agree to any deal that restricts my First Amendment rights. We have won today, and we're releasing a story inside the DNC this afternoon. A verdict.
Yeah, and not only was he did the judge rule in his favor, it was a directed verdict, which basically means the case closed. That case can't be brought against him again because the rules so much, or not the rules, the evidence is shown so much in James O'Keefe's favor. The director's like, or the judge is like, this is ridiculous. I'm throwing this case out. So really cool little thing from James O'Keefe there. Really happy for him and for journalism in general, with people like him out there really trying to find the truth. It's exciting for everybody that cares about the truth and wants to have the light shown on those very dark, secretive areas that we don't know anything about in the populace. Anyway, that's all I've got for now. We'll see you soon. Bye.